Hey, welcome back, traders. Now, today I want to break down something that is massively overlooked. And as you know, if you follow my channel, you know that there's a lot of different elements and different variables and foundations that you're going to have to get through to obviously become a consistent trader. Now, what I'm just about to break down to you and speak about, completely changed the way that I looked at things, definitely in recent months. And it's something that I'm introducing to the people that I work with, the traders that we work with, to increase their performance in all areas. So you're going to want to watch this because it's not your standard stuff. As you know on my channel, you don't get your standard mundane stuff. It's what you need to understand and break down and do for you to get success in this trading game. So buckle up, as always, get a drink, whatever. I'm trying this fuel stuff at the moment while I'm training, should I say. Let's get ready. Now, what I'm going to speak about is called the black box effect. And this black box effect comes from engineering. Now, you may be thinking, wow, that sounds boring, engineering. I actually think engineering seems quite interesting. And recently, I've had quite a few engineers obviously get in contact with me in trading. So engineers out there, maybe we're onto something. However, this originates from engineering. And to simplify it, in trading, unbelievably, you will not believe what I'm just about to tell you. So it ain't no mindset trick or anything like that, okay? Engagement, clickbait nonsense or anything like that. It's a system. And as you know, when I talk about systems, you should be trading a methodical way of trading, a system way, the way that we trade. And that's how you get success, building everything you do around systems. When you apply this, what I'm going to tell you, to trading, okay, it's going to open a new way of you seeing things and you're going to progress. There's no doubt about that. So again, where does it come from? Well, it's all in electronics and things like that. And as you know, what do we speak about when we go for planes or plane accidents or whatever, anything like that? What do we look for? We look for the black box because that holds all the information. Why is the black box so important? It holds the key for future success and to find out what is actually going on in the middle part, which we cannot do as humans. Now, it's simple. Input and output. Very, very simple, okay? So how can we relate that to trading, right? Well, first of all, you need to understand what it is. So a black box is very, very simple. A signal goes into a device. What happens in the middle? We have no idea what actually happens in the middle. And then we get a result. Input, we don't know what goes on in the middle. Output, that's the result. And that input in the middle is the difference between you being a successful trader or a failed trader. It's as simple as that. Now, how are we going to relate that to trading? Well, some of you be twiddling your thumbs and saying, well, it's going to be the obvious ones. And it probably is the obvious ones. But let me just break it down. Most traders, and I was in this position for a long, long time, look at trading as simple as this. You're obsessed with input for an output. Your inputs, you're looking for a strategy, you're looking for indicators, you're looking for all these technical patterns, you're looking for the news, Trump might tweet, whatever it may be. That's what you are looking at. You're looking for inputs. And then what's your result? Your outputs. Win or loss, a break even, profit, am I in drawdown, is it growth, or am I in pain? That's how you would sum up your trading. But what you've completely forgotten about, and what people don't want to do, and that's why we do this education, is the in between, which is the black box effect. And what's the in between, my friends? Of course, you've guessed it. It's you. You're the one who needs to be the in between. You are the black box. All right. And this is what people don't want to acknowledge. This is what people don't want to take accountability for. When I work with people, the biggest thing I've noticed is accountability, which is you. You are the in between. That internal space where decisions are made, where risk is managed, where emotions are coming in and out, where the control, either you control it or it takes over you, is the black box. It is you, my friends. And if you don't start paying attention to what's happening inside the system, which is you, that middle step, your trading is never going to be successful and you're going to be inconsistent and unpredictable. That's the reality. And some people might like that and some people won't. Now, the majority of you that watch my content, you know that it's all about basically designing a system in relation to a strategy. Where you're going to trade from, when you're trading, why you're trading, and the reason that you're trading, when to trade. Simple as that. Okay. The how to trade is your system. That's what I coach. That's what it's all about. But the how also is implemented by foundational variables that come from you. Got that out in the end. And you're the black box effect. So why do most traders miss this? Well, let's think about it in this way, right, my friends? We've got two types of traders. Maybe I'm a trader and say you're a trader as well, all right? And same setup, same ticker, same time of the day. I walk away green, you walk away blown half of your account. We know that that's happening. Me and you can sit in the same room and still lose. I can win and you can lose a trade, all right? You've wiped everything out and you're the one who's lost all your trades. Same input, same output, all right? That's what we're going for. But you put the same input, but you get a completely different output. Why is that? What happened? It wasn't your strategy. It wasn't the market. It wasn't the Trump. It wasn't anything like that. It was the black box, which is that invisible internal processor and those systems that is you. It's very, very different if you don't understand this. So that's how the breakdown happens. The reason being is me and you can have two types of it, the same type of information, and completely have a different result. How is that? How can you follow someone on YouTube, if you still do that, follow their trade, you lose and they win? How can that happen? The biggest one is when you followed signals when you first started trading. I mean, signals, come on, when we look back at it, how ridiculous. They put a signal in, they win, you lose. Because the middle part, you have no idea what's going on, all right? So let's open this little box, all right? Let's go inside and open this little box. I am looking at a trade at the minute. Maybe we can jump into a trade. And what's inside this box? Well, mindset, your bias, your ability to stay present, your impulsiveness around control, and your real-time interpretation of risk. I want to say that last one again. Your real-time interpretation of risk. So let's run over those again. Mindset, bias, ability to stay in control and stay present, ability to have that impulsive controlness rather than allowing it control you, and obviously real-time interpretation of risk. That's very, very important. That's the processor. That is the system of what you are right now. And I badger on about these things because I get calls all the time. I get people waste time. I get people come in. At the end of the day, they're doing the same thing in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, because they're trying to figure this out on their own, and they're not understanding that you need the knowledge to work on the black box, which is you. Most traders never even work on this. They're going to ignore this and try and go and do it on their own, on themselves. I tried it for years and years and years, and it cost me tens of thousands of dollars and way too much time to figure it out, because I did not go down the route of listening to people who are full-time traders. It's as simple as that. Now, if you just keep looking at the inputs, so maybe I need more data, maybe I need another course, maybe I need a coach. Now, courses are good, coaches are good, but you need to find the one that resonates with the way that you trade and the way that you want to trade. You're hoping for better changes. You're hoping for an output difference. Well, it's not going to happen, is it? Unless you optimize the middle part of what's going on in your trading. You're just sending good data into a broken system. I love that saying. You're just sending good data into a broken system. And I know that touched a few nerves with a few people. So how are we going to improve this black box? How are we going to improve this? How are we going to do the boring work, as people would say, because that's where the money's made, for us to get where we need to get to? Now, you've heard all these things that I'm going to speak about already. But why are you not doing them? Why are you looking for the next YouTube video? Why are you looking for the next asset to trade? Why are you looking for the next prop firm to see if that prop firm is the one that makes you money? If you can't make money on one prop firm, the chances are you're probably not going to make money on another prop firm. we have to understand and self-reflect. And if you've not seen the video on feedback loop theory, go and do that. And if you need any help in any of these areas, whether it's to get a strategy, whether it's to obviously get you over that line, whether it's to get sustainable, whether it's to go full-time and have freedom with your family and money, etc., again, you can contact me and we can go over that. And if I'm a good fit for you and you're a good fit for me, we can change that for you, no problem. So let's jump back in. How do we fix this? Number one, trade journaling. I do not mean just write down an entry and an exit. I always say this to everybody, write down how you feel. You need to be smarter in the way that you trade, you journal. How did you feel? What did you believe was going to happen? What did you expect was going to happen? That's internal. That is how you're going to break down the processes. Number two, record yourself. As you're trading, record your screen and maybe record it on OBS and speak in the mic what you're actually looking at. It's a very, very good way to internalize behavior when you step away from yourself. Screen recording, long trades, your sessions, 3-4 hour days, perfect. It's free to do that on OBS. Massive, massive part, decision delay. We could do a whole video on decision delay, all right? This is the spot, those seconds between stimuli and response. Please, please, please pause before you're just about to get into any trade for about 2 to 3 seconds. Breathe, let the signal run, let it show you what it wants to do, and then enter if you still feel confident in that, okay? And all those are like self-development reps. Number 4, self-awareness reps. How do we get good at something? How do we get good if we want to build muscle? How do we get good if we want to get better at running, or we want to build a relationship, or we want our bank account to go higher? We do the reps. And self-awareness reps is what's going to allow you to be a top trader, top person, top man, top woman, a top in every area that you go for. It takes time, and you must understand that. You can't fix what you don't see because you don't know it's there, because you've not gained the knowledge to understand what is actually there. Reflection, by the way, on every single day will help you start to recognize these internal patterns of who you are. You can't understand who you are if you don't self-reflect. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. So that's it. I hope that makes sense in everything that we're doing. The black box effect is you, my friends. You are the system. You are the system in everything that you do on your day-to-day basis. Again, if you need any help with that and you want to get that next level and you want to be a consistent trader, again, strategy, psychology, whatever you need, the steps that you need to get there, where to trade from, how to trade, when to trade, why to trade. Again, hit the link below and I'll see you all on the next one.